Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the story of a man whose genius literally powers our modern world, yet whose own life ended in shadow and solitude. We're talking about the brilliant, the visionary, the often overlooked father of our electrical age, Nikola Tesla. So, take a look around you. The lights illuminating your room, the device you're watching this on, the hum of your refrigerator, almost everything you plug into a wall socket runs on a system that one man fought tooth and nail to establish. That system is alternating current, or AC, and Nikola Tesla was its champion. But who was this man? Born in 1856 in what is now Croatia, to Serbian parents, Tesla was a prodigy from a young age. Stories from his childhood are filled with flashes of brilliance and almost supernatural intuition. He was said to have visualized entire inventions in his mind, complete with working parts and dimensions, before ever drawing a single schematic. He was a poet of physics, a dreamer who saw the invisible forces of the universe as a playground. After studying engineering, his journey led him to America in 1884, with little more than a few cents in his pocket, and a letter of recommendation to the man who was already a titan of industry, Thomas Edison. This is where our story gets really interesting. Edison was the king of direct current, or DC. He had built a small empire powering parts of New York City with his DC system, but DC had a huge flaw. It couldn't travel long distances without losing power. It required a power plant on almost every city block. It was inefficient and expensive. Tesla arrived and proposed a revolutionary alternative: alternating current. AC could be easily stepped up in voltage to travel hundreds of miles with minimal loss, and then stepped down to be safely used in homes and factories. It was elegant, efficient, and vastly superior. Initially, Edison hired Tesla, promising him a significant bonus if he could improve Edison's own DC generators. Tesla, with his characteristic genius, worked tirelessly and made the improvements. But when he went to collect his promised reward, Edison allegedly laughed it off, saying, "Tesla, you don't understand our American humor." This wasn't just a joke, it was a breaking point. Tesla quit, and the stage was set for one of the greatest rivalries in the history of science, the War of the Currents. For a time, Tesla was forced to dig ditches to survive. Can you imagine that? The mind that conceived our modern power grid, reduced to manual labor, but his genius couldn't be buried. He soon found backing from George Westinghouse, an industrialist who saw the immense potential in Tesla's AC system. What followed was an intense and sometimes ruthless battle for the future of electricity. Edison, fearing the loss of his DC empire, launched a smear campaign against AC. He publicly electrocuted animals, from stray dogs to even an elephant, trying to convince the public that AC was dangerously deadly. He tried to coin the term Westinghoused for being electrocuted. It was a brutal fight of ideas and public relations. But science and superior technology ultimately won. The turning point came with the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, often called the City of Light. Westinghouse and Tesla won the contract to illuminate the entire exhibition. The dazzling display of hundreds of thousands of light bulbs, all powered by Tesla's AC system, was a spectacle that mesmerized the world. It was a clear, undeniable demonstration of AC's superiority. Shortly after, they secured an even bigger prize: the contract to harness the immense power of Niagara Falls. This was Tesla's ultimate dream. Using his polyphase AC system, he designed the first major hydroelectric power plant in the world. For the first time, the raw power of nature was converted into clean, abundant energy and transmitted over miles to power cities like Buffalo, New York. The modern electrical grid was born, and Tesla was its architect. You would think this would be the start of a legendary, prosperous life for Tesla. He was on top of the world. He was a celebrity, dining with the rich and famous, demonstrating his wondrous inventions in his New York City lab. He created the Tesla coil, a device that could produce high-voltage, low-current electricity, and dreamed of a world with wireless power transmission. He envisioned a future where energy would be broadcast through the air, free for everyone. He built a massive transmission tower called Wardenclyffe on Long Island, hoping to prove his theory. This was his grandest vision, a global wireless system for communication and power. But this is where the triumphant story takes a tragic turn. His vision was perhaps too grand, too far ahead of its time. His primary investor, the powerful banker J.P. Morgan, pulled funding. Morgan had invested in the infrastructure of wires and poles. The idea of free wireless energy was not exactly a profitable business model. The Wardenclyffe project was abandoned, and the tower was eventually torn down. This failure marked the beginning of a long, slow decline for Tesla. He continued to invent, patenting hundreds of ideas ranging from radio technology, though Marconi often gets the credit, to remote controls and robotics. But he became increasingly eccentric and isolated. He was a man who had given the world the very foundation of its technological progress, yet he struggled to find his own place in it. He spent his final decades living in a series of New York hotels, his brilliance overshadowed by his peculiar habits and growing debts. He developed a deep affection for pigeons, feeding them in the park and even bringing injured ones back to his hotel room to nurse them back to health. On January 7, 1943, at the age of 86, Nikola Tesla died alone in his room at the Hotel New Yorker. The man who had illuminated the world passed away in poverty and solitude. When officials entered his room, they found a life's worth of research, notebooks filled with ideas that we are still trying to understand today. It's a profound and bittersweet story. Tesla's life serves as a powerful reminder that creating immense value for the world doesn't always translate into personal wealth or happiness. He was a visionary who prioritized progress for humanity over personal gain. He gave us the current that flows through our veins of copper wire, the very lifeblood of our digital age, but his own life's current slowly faded out. So the next time you flip a switch and a room is flooded with light, take a moment to remember Nikola Tesla. Remember the dreamer who harnessed lightning, the genius who fought a titan of industry, and the selfless visionary who paid a personal price for a future he made possible for all of us. His legacy isn't just in our history books. It's all around us, humming silently in the walls. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the life of a true genius. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more stories about the people who shaped our world. Let me know in the comments what you think about Tesla's incredible life and legacy. Until next time, stay curious.